Hello everyone. Just before the lecture starts, I just want to let you know that I'll be giving an online Gnosis course very soon. So if you would like to participate, please feel free. A lot of people have expressed wanting to join our classes in person, but of course, we live very far away here in the Philippines for most people. So this is for you if you are interested. And it's also for those in the Philippines who wanted to join but live too far away. So if you would like to join this very special online group, just visit the link on the screen or in the description. It's going to be a very transformative and influential experience if you are interested in understanding Gnosis properly with your heart, practically, and really start getting on with the practices, then this is for you. And this would also better open up the opportunity to attend our retreats here in the Philippines. Okay? So for now, I hope you enjoy this lecture. There were a lot of new students in this one, so there's a combination of many different things. Okay? So it's a great class. Enjoy. I haven't started a beginners or introductory course, so I've tried to kind of put a lot of things together which would be suitable for everyone. Usually we would talk about what is Gnosis first, or what does it mean to be Gnostic. There's kind of two meanings of Gnostic when you hear that word or when people hear that word. There's the Gnostics or the early Christian Gnostics, which is more about another belief system like Buddhism or Christianity. But what we're interested in is Gnosis. We specifically follow or study teachings of someone called Master Samael Aun Weor, who we understand reached or completed the path to liberation and gave these very specific and detailed teachings. But even he teaches very clearly, don't follow me. It's not about following me. It's about following the truth, following Gnosis. And the essence of Gnosis is literally what it means. It's a word literally translated to knowledge, direct knowledge. So people can say, I believe in God, I don't believe in God, but who knows God? What level of direct experience or direct experiential knowledge do these people have? And that's what we want to know. And in Gnosis, we understand there are infinite degrees of knowing God. Some people are blind, but they say they believe in God. That's okay. Maybe they've had a few sparks in their life of some kind of knowledge beyond themselves, beyond their ego. And then there's people who say they believe, and maybe they've experienced a little bit more levels. There's some people that we would start to call saints or masters who are living incarnations of their own God, of their own divinity within them. And if you meet these people, just being in their presence is illuminating, like a sun. You just see a truth. It's not about belief, like, oh, I worship you, I believe you. And no, you just feel the presence of the radiance of their truth that also reflects inside you. So we all have our own specific God in that sense. We all have a specific being that we need to follow, that we need to worship, that we need to go towards. But that's inside us, not outside of us. So there's many people in the world, especially in Philippines. A lot of people go to church. That's okay. But many people who go to church, they don't know God. There's many people who don't go to church and are more with God, and vice versa, right? I know people here, and funny older people in the Philippines come to mind, very religious old ladies who say, you go to church, you're gonna be a sinner and go to hell. But really they're in their ego, right? So angry too. Yeah. Okay. So this class, I've called it the physical world versus the internal worlds. So we're all here and we're gathered here today in this room, in this area, physically, with our physical bodies. And for the most part, we are assuming that this is reality, because this is all we know at our level. We are perceiving with our five senses what we see, what we smell, what we hear, our impressions, and what we think about the world physically. However, the physical world is the most superficial place. Not condemning it, but it's shallow in terms of the internal worlds. Has many names. There's many sciences, spiritual sciences we could go into, but this is a generalized word. The internal worlds. We could call it the astral world too. It's kind of the next level up. But what we have to understand, or be open to at least, is that there is a physical world here, the world of images, the world of illusions. We could all see someone on the TV who is very virtuous, everyone loves them, and no one would question how pure and beautiful that person is. Internally, could be completely different. And we can't judge that. We don't know. We can't judge good people and we can't judge bad people. The real truth is internal, inside them, a living internal reality of that person. A very good person could be really good, or they could be really bad, could be opposite, could be liars, right? That's why you teach children not to lie. Otherwise, they grow up lying so much and they lie to themselves and they just lie to the world. Say, I'm very good, but in secret they do some crimes or something. So this reality is really an illusion. It's just a temporary illusion. There's something deep within us that's much more different, much more to the truth. And so part of this class, this topic, this lecture today, is about understanding astral projection, because this gives us a taste of the direct reality, the perception, the feeling of it. So astral projection is when you go to sleep, you come out of your body, your physical body, consciously, and you can experience the internal worlds. When I've experienced this in the past, especially in the beginning, I couldn't believe how real it felt. It's more real than here and now. I can sense this now in this, while we're awake, that there's a dream-like quality to this physical world. It's very strange, especially when I'm with other people, because we're all in our own dream. When I'm alone in my own room, meditating or whatever, I feel more reality inside me. But when I'm with other people, everyone's got their own dream. So it's not just my ego and my dreams being projected, but it's other people's too. And it's very, Of course, there's a good thing of groups too, because we don't just hold the egos inside us. We also hold divinity. We hold light. And when people meet for that purpose, we can strengthen that light, that essence. So to explain astral projection a bit more fundamentally, every time you go to sleep, tonight you're going to go home, you're going to go to sleep, and you're unconscious. You don't remember a thing. It's just blank. It's not even black. It's just not even blank. It's really nothing. And then you wake up and you continue your day, not even questioning if you're still awake or still dreaming. The reality is, when the physical body sleeps, your essence, your energy comes out of the physical body. Because actually the physical body is something quite pure, and it needs our state right now of ego. Our essence, our consciousness needs to go out of the physical body so that it can heal, it can relax. That's why when people sleep at night, they breathe very heavily, relax, and when you wake up in the morning, you feel a lot better after a day's sleep. So it is possible that when we go to sleep, we're able to have conscious awareness, just as we are here and now. I know, we all know, I'm alive, I'm here, I'm awake. You know what day it is, you know what your age. Astral projection, the same thing. You can be just as awake now, actually even more awake than how you feel now. So awake that you know you're not projecting any dreams. And the reality that you can go into, let's say if you want to investigate something in your life, a problem, you want to invoke a master, an angel, you want to know something about yourself, maybe your past lives, you can do it. You can investigate something. Depending, of course, on your level of consciousness. Maybe, well, usually in the astral, we would get tempted by our own unconscious, mechanical tendencies. Right? Oh, I'm in the astral. Anything is possible. Let me feel what it's like to be a millionaire. You'll just go into a dream and you'll dream. And you'll be unconscious. So we'll get on to more of the practical thing afterwards, but I'll talk a little bit more. A quote here by Master Samael: true illuminates, true initiates, true students who are wanting to awaken and practice these teachings, true illuminates do not dream. Dreams are for those who are asleep. Right? Not just sleeping in bed, but we have to recognize that more or less we're dreaming right now. We're sleeping right now with sleeping consciousness. True illuminates live in the higher worlds, out of the physical body, without ever dreaming. So, in a sense, the sad part is when we're dreaming all night, we also don't stop dreaming when we wake up. We're still projecting the future, the past. We have worries, anxieties. Sometimes on a very unconscious day, we just get up, we're doing so much, we don't know where the day has gone. So it's like this. This is objective reality, reality without dreams, something towards the truth, towards consciousness, towards your essence. But there's all these layers here. Obscured, clouded, with our own subjectivities. So just as we saw in the class about transformation of impressions, we can all look at an object, but we all have our own understanding of it, our own view of it. When I say the word God, we all have our own idea, our own feeling about that word. And it's not the same. So there's all these subjectivities. So that's why this path of learning, path of self-knowledge is very important. We want to become more cultured, want to become more studied, and get a broad range of understanding of things. Because this helps us to select the truth a little bit more. I attended a talk with Dalai Lama once, and he said about, a scientist asked him a question, that there are something like 8 billion different perspectives in the world, the scientist said, because, there's 8 billion people on the planet. And he said, how are you supposed to know which one's the truth? And the Dalai Lama said, well, study all of those 8 billion perspectives. Basically get to know yourself, get to know humanity. And then by analyzing intelligently and meditating, you might be able to get more to the one objective truth, and not just the 8 billion projections from the world. So, the ego dreams, our ego, our desires, our fantasies, our ambitions. Okay? We're not condemning all of this. As I said, it's about self-knowledge. We have to know ourselves. Our essence sees. Essence, you could also call it consciousness, could also call it being. It's a part of us that is free from the ego, part of us that is objective truth. A little bit more like when we were a baby or a child, before we became so traumatized, so full of desires and will and all of this. You could also call it God. You could also call it divinity that exists inside you. You can also call it the Christ. So, our subconsciousness must transform gradually into consciousness. There's generally, in humanity, there's only two types of people. There's people who are degenerated and they are transforming their consciousness into subconsciousness. They begin their life, maybe from a good family. They got everything set up for them. And by the time from, let's say, 20 to 80, it's just gone downhill. They've lost so much money. They've made so much enemies. They adopted many drug addictions and alcohol addictions. They became more hateful. They became more, etc., etc. The degeneration of a soul, right? Until it dies. And when we die, we go into the astral, right? Another word I said, there are many words for the internal worlds. You could call it heaven and hell. If we all suddenly died now, where would we go? Okay. That's for you to sense, to decide. The reality of this is more towards what Hindus would teach, which is the soul, or most souls, let's say on average, don't generally go to just hell or heaven, but hell and heaven are kind of it's like a yin and yang. It's kind of a duality in themselves. The soul goes from it's good to bad, just like we do now. Nothing changes really when we die. We just go from pleasure to pain. We have our good days and bad days. Of course, there's a real heaven outside of that duality. So, again, there's two types of people generally in humanity. Those who are slowly transforming their consciousness into subconsciousness, so light into darkness. And there are also people who sense through their intuition, whether they follow teachings or not, very strong people who love divinity and they have good intuition, they are transforming their subconsciousness into consciousness. They're slowly following the light, following the truth. Okay? So, what we need, or what we have to aspire to, is a mind that does not project. A mind that does not project. So, I've experienced this several times in the astral, that I'll wake up, not in the astral, but in a dream. So I'm having a dream, whatever it may be. In one dream, I remember I was in a car park, it was nearby my house back in the UK, and I'm walking around just dreaming like a zombie, and suddenly I wake up. Oh, it's a dream. And then I realize I'm projecting this reality. I become so awake that I realize I can sense what I'm imagining. If you all imagine an apple in front of you, and then just stop projecting the apple, wake up, right? So in that experience, I could literally see the trees, the fences, the buildings around me dissolve, and I woke up to a different world, which I can go into another time, but it was very interesting. I spoke to people who were in the afterlife. They told me interesting things. So it's really a very interesting world where you can learn a lot. But specifically, we should learn about our ego, or about ourself. So our mind currently projects desires, fears, emotions, passions, memories. So this connects very well to the practice of self-observation. Each one of us should have a good sense of how much or how frequently our mind projects unconscious desires, fears, the emotions, the type of emotions that we go through in life, our passions, our memories. How often do we dwell on past things, traumas, events, maybe school relationships, past relationships with exes, things like that. It's nonsense, it's not needed, but we have to understand why if we want to. We have to know ourselves if we want to go beyond that. So to integrate the teaching of the 7 sins here, which may have a moral sentiment behind it, if you already understand this from religion, but the 7 sins is a beautiful synthesis of the main 7 psychological capitals, or the main psychological egos. Yes. So if you imagine a city, or we all have a psychological city within us, this is how Master Samael describes it. We all have a psychological city in our internal worlds, and we're always walking around in each of our cities, going to different shops, maybe some entertainment shops, maybe some best of shops, maybe some gossiping shops, or we all have a life inside. And in those cities, there's 7 capitals. There's lust, greed, gluttony, laziness, anger, envy, pride. What we would like to do is essentially dissolve or destroy these cities so that we can see reality. They are cities of illusions. The biggest city being lust. Lust is the biggest power to feed these ones. Okay. But again, as I've repeated already quite a few times, we're not condemning lust. There's a way to transmute lust, work with it, especially with a partner. It's actually required to have a partner if we want to advance very rapidly on the path. So, if we are doing very well on the path, we are self-observing ourselves, we are getting to know ourselves psychologically, emotionally, we are refining ourselves, then that lust will be transmuted into chastity. You would have a chaste mind, a pure heart, someone who doesn't think in bestest ways when they talk or look at the other sex, right? Chastity. Sometimes you can even feel that when you meet certain people, right? It's like, the aura sometimes can be so wild. Okay, greed. Greed would be transmuted, or the opposite of greed would be transmuted into generosity. Not a person who just takes, but starts giving to others. Gluttony relates to greed too, so they all relate to each other. Gluttony would be temperance. A person who knows a balance between things. Not too much, not too little. Just right. Yeah. Just what your inner God would want you to have. Or when you have a child, you would give it just the right amount. And there's a sense that we know that is just right. Yeah. So these are all being transmuted, or you could also say being liberated. So these 7 virtues arrive when these sins have been transmuted, been worked with. Okay. So this is a problem with religions today, that sometimes there's a tendency, an unconscious tendency, it's not intentional, to chastise, to condemn these things. We can't condemn it, it's already part of us. We have to understand it. And when we do, we understand that our soul, our essence, is trapped inside cages. I've put here like a genie lamp. What happens when you get the lamp, you work with it, right? Eventually, the essence comes out and it grants you wishes. And that's the essence, the power of the soul. So, we could say this was lust, keeping us trapped inside this little dream. But when we free that essence, it's not that we absolutely kill lust, but that it completely transforms into a virtue. Okay, so to continue, laziness changes into diligence, a hardworking kind of person. Anger would change into serenity, someone who is very serene and calm, has sweetness too, even when someone is insulting them or something. Envy or jealousy would change into happiness for others, philanthropy. When someone criticizes you or tells you to change your life in some way, instead of just complimenting you that you have a good life, well done, that's great, maybe there's some hidden jealousy in there. And pride turns into humility. So, again, coming back to this, our dreaming state. We're all dreaming right now in some way, in some manner. We have to ask ourselves, what kind of world do I dream? What does your specific world feel like? I can sense my own world a bit. And when I look at each of you, I can sense your own world, right? And this can be sensed in the astral too. I remember an experience where I met a man and I could see his life around his head, images of his life. That he was a smoker, that he had a dog, he lived in like a mansion, a very big house, he has wife, kids. So we all have our own world, our own dreams. And we have to understand what is our world and our dreams. The sad reality is that some people are living in a nightmare life and they don't even realize that they are still continuing to feed that life. And they don't know how to change because they're not aware of the dream of their life that they create unconsciously. All our challenges, all the problems in our life are mainly due to our own unconsciousness about it. So that's what we could also call karma. We have a certain karma. So is my life very fearful? Is it sad, angry, shy? This is a lot of people don't understand that this is also an ego, that, I feel I'm a very shy person. And no, it isn't. It's like an anxiety or something. We don't have to feel that way. Shyness, vanity, obsessiveness. There's many examples. So, in Gnosis, we understand that our dreams have to be destroyed. Let go. Right? You'll often find that when someone dreams of a life that others have, very covetously. What's the word? Covetously? How do you say it? Covetously, right? Yes. When they covet something, when they desire something so much, they want to be like this person. They want to have all this money. They want a life like this. They usually don't get it. Right? There's in the teachings of Christ somewhere, basically says that to the one who wants so much, it's going to be taken away. The one who is just simply grateful for their life, they would have more. Some more would come to them, right? So that's why we need to dissolve our dreams. Our ego says, no, don't do that. We love our dreams. We want our dreams. But, that's where self-denial comes in. Humility, too, coming in. So, we have to meditate on this. We'll do a little meditation to help us understand our dreams and all of this. Okay? So, of course, this all relates to first remembering our dreams. This is the first practice, right? Well, before that, we also have to observe ourselves and be present. Because if we are not remembering our life now, so it might be easy for you now because this is a new experience with other people, we're doing something special, it's a bit more memorable. But generally, every time you go to bed, try to play out your day. How much of it is black? It means that our consciousness wasn't really looking. And if we can't do that during the day while we're awake, it's a little easier to do at night to remember our dreams. However, if we are more attentive during the day and asking ourselves, where am I? What am I doing? What am I thinking? What am I feeling? then in the morning, you'll find that through habit, it's more likely that you'll start remembering your dreams. And you'll start to have clues from your dreams. Because dreams have a certain language to them, a language of our own soul. And so even though we're living behind so much illusion here, and we can't exactly get to the astral reality immediately, at the very least, we can get to the most objective reality for us. And that is in dreams, because they reveal the code, the language of ourselves, the language of our own soul. So the language of dreams is symbolic. It's very symbolic. Generally not good to take them at face value, to just judge them for what they are, but they're very symbolic, archetypal. They're representations of something much deeper that gives clues about our own mind. For example, if someone dreams of they're running away from a dog. A dog is an animal nature, so it's maybe a passionate, something passionate too. So it's usually a desire that they're running away from, right? Symbolic. So the person can wake up and ask, oh, what am I so busy in my life? What am I dreaming about, sleeping unconsciously, that I'm dreaming about some kind of I'm running away from a desire, some desire that I'm scared of. If the dog bites him and he's bleeding, he really hurt himself. Usually relates to lust, that one, dreaming of a dog like that.
Being chased by a dog, that's lust.
Usually could relate to lust. You have to reflect on it yourself. But yeah, some animal, passionate nature, something like that. Yeah. Usually, actually, when Gnostic students hear about the teachings of sexual transmutation to become more chaste, sometimes they have this dream. It's because they don't know how to handle the sexual energy in them. They're so used to masturbation, things like this, and they get very they get scared of it. They don't know how to handle it, and so in the astral they start running away from the passion, But of course, if you don't identify with the feeling and everything, then yeah. So that's an important point, that we have to also understand that the thoughts that we think during the day are not ours. We have to have a part of us that does not identify. If we say to ourselves, hi, hi, welcome. It's a bit in it. The aircon isn't working. So if we say to ourselves and try to affirm, I am not my thoughts. I don't identify with my thoughts. If you practice that diligently, you'll come to realize that the thoughts are still there and they continue, without necessarily your own will. These are desires that live within us, that we carry inside us, dreams that we carry inside us. So we have to work with them and understand them. Same with emotions too. Okay. So the thing about interpreting dreams is that they are multidimensional. They have multiple meanings depending on how you see it. Dreams are images. They're clues for something of a deeper reality. Yes. So if I give you an interpretation, maybe it might be a little more accurate. Maybe. I've had a lot of experience, right? I've been studying, I've been practicing this. But of course, someone who just suddenly remembers dreams and they dream of winning the lottery and they believe that, oh, it really must be that I'm winning the lottery. They go out and buy a ticket and they lose and they wonder why they didn't win, right? So we can interpret them subjectively. Winning the lottery would be usually that a person is acquiring more virtues. They're becoming more rich internally, right? Real richness is inside us. Right? Some people have a lot of money externally, but inside their soul, they're very poor. They're like beggars. Yeah. They're just very selfish people, usually. They're suffering a lot. So there's a bit of a danger when we are interpreting dreams, because we could easily lie to ourselves. So we have to be very careful that we have dreams and then we just suddenly believe it means something. For example, if I dream of flying into heaven and an angel meets me, and then, I suddenly wake up and I think I'm a master, and I tell everyone I'm a master and everyone should follow me. Right? So this is a type of mythomania. This is someone who is a compulsive liar, basically. It first starts internally with the ego, but eventually the lying becomes so pronounced and so much that they start lying to others, but they don't even know they're lying because they've already lied so much. That's the karma of lying to others. The more you do it, the more that you're lying to yourself. And you don't even know you're lying to yourself. You might know some people like that. I've known a couple of people like that. I remember this one friendship group when I was in school. Hi. It's okay. He can wait, he said. So, what was I saying? Oh yes, I knew a group of friends in school they were a group of girls. They're all like best friends, but they all got tired of this one girl who just kept lying. And they knew she was lying. And she wanted to keep just telling them about how it's like she wanted to, maybe some vanity, some pride, some also jealousy. She wanted to keep impressing them with like amazing and cool things about their life, like boasting. But they just got sick of it, and these group of friends, they all kicked her out of a friendship group because she was lying. And poor girl, in a sense, she has mythomania. She doesn't even know that she's lying. She's so unconscious. But maybe it helped her to wake up and see that, not good to lie. At least it was while she was young. Maybe now she's a very truthful, honest person. Yeah. So there are two types of dreams. Dreams related to our daily life. When you wake up, it's about people you know. It's about your work. It's about you, your own desires and things. Those are more useful dreams to reflect on, because there might be some clues in there. For example, you're dreaming of being at work and there's a scary monster there that keeps chasing you. That might relate to someone that you have a fear of. And so that's something you need to meditate on and overcome that fear so that you stop living in unconsciousness. Yeah. But there are also random dreams, just random, unrelated fantasies. These are more useless dreams, just off the ego. Just right now, we might have a random thought of a random celebrity or something. It's just useless dreams. Okay. So, if you want to remember dreams, there's a powerful mantra here, which Master Samael describes as, and I can say that it has this effect when it's done properly. When you wake up in the morning, don't move your physical body. It's even better if you don't open your eyes, so that you're not absorbed into this physical world, but that you're still you keep awareness inside yourself, inside your inner body. And you just focus on, what did I dream? And you wait. Don't think. Just be receptive, be passive, and wait for something to arrive. If nothing arrives, you can do this mantra. Raum Gaum. Mentally. Do it mentally. Raum. Letting the sound penetrate into your mind. Gaum. And just wait, be receptive. At some point, you'll see a flash of a dream. Oh, I was riding a donkey in space. Something like that. Just continue. And you'll follow like a trail, just like a detective with a magnifying glass, following footsteps. More images will come. And then you say, I had this really interesting conversation with someone. Or I saw this dream. I saw certain things that will come to you. It's great. In a sense, this is a bit of an advanced practice, because in the beginning, we need to learn how to work on ourselves first, in the physical. But the more advanced, deeper level is remembering dreams and seeing our psychological aspects there much deeper. Okay? So when we analyze without the ego, just in meditation, not trying to think or not trying to project our own desires, when we analyze without ego, vanity, pride, superstition, then we see objective, illuminating meaning. We have meaning there. We can receive messages from our being, from our God, from our inner divinity, but we have to be, well, very objective, without ego. We can be shown who we're meant to be with. We can be shown where we're meant to live, what kind of life we're meant to have, or what we're supposed to do. We can be shown our past lives, everything. But if we have a lot of ego, a lot of doubt, a lot of confusion, then it gets more difficult. So it takes practice and time and experience. So I'm going to share this practice here for that, which helps you to be more awake during the day, which is the key of soul. The key of soul, it means to put your awareness into 3 specific states throughout the day, constantly, as much as possible, as much as you can. Split your awareness into 3 areas, okay? The first is subject. This means you. Your awareness is going to look at you, okay? If you've ever played a video game where you're in a third person, it's basically like that. You're watching yourself. Have your awareness just a little bit behind you, okay? I'm Gene. I'm going to watch Gene. And I'm going to watch all of his thoughts, his emotions, everything that's inside him, okay? Me. What am I feeling? What am I thinking? Okay? So subject, it's about you. At the same time, be aware of objects. This means, okay, there is you, the subject, your consciousness or your trapped consciousness, and then there is object. So subject, internal. Who are you? What are you doing? All your dreams, your thoughts, passions, everything. Object is what you are fascinated about externally. All the external impressions. If me and my wife, we like dogs. If we go for a walk and we see a lot of cute dogs, we have to be aware of our fascination with that dog so that we don't just go trapped in dreaming and maybe we go buy too many dogs and our life gets too stressful, you know. Happens in many ways, right? A man could go to a shop and see a very attractive woman and he's married, he ruins his life, and, you know, many other examples, you know. A woman covets the newest heels from someone and now she just needs to get it, but she doesn't have money, but she gets utang. She gets into debt, and you know. So we have to be aware of the objects, the things external that fascinate us. Okay. Again, not condemning it, but we have to be very aware of how much energy and awareness is leaking out of us, because this drains us. In a sense, what we want is to save our spiritual energy. Everyone's spiritual. We're all spending spiritual energy on something. It can be seen clairvoyantly that when a person's on their phone, again, not condemning. Sometimes I scroll social media, it's okay, right? 5 minutes or something. But if you're doing it for hours, it's like so much spiritual energy just sapping out of the person. And then they're left drained and they don't know what to do. It's like their eyes are, whoa, you know. We have to be aware of where our energy is going. Right now, it's fascinated with this, and that's okay. We have to be aware of that. The next part is location. And we have to not underestimate this, okay? It's being aware of where you are. Where are you right now? It's very easy to answer with the mind and the ego. It's easy. I'm at this guy's house in Talisay in the Philippines. But we have to be conscious of this, really conscious of it. Because if you reflect that when you wake up from your dreams, you're never aware of where you are. and you're in completely new places and you don't know. You're only there based on desires that magnetize you to these environments. So we have to be really aware of where we are. So that's the key of soul practice, to split our awareness into 3 modes at the same time. You can practice it now very easily, or it might be a bit difficult in the beginning, but with time it comes. That I'm aware of my thoughts, my feelings. Maybe we don't have so many thoughts and feelings, that's okay, but at least watching. And then I'm also aware, I maintain awareness of the things outside of me, and I'm also aware of where I am. This also means to be aware of where you've come from, right? Can you remember the journey that you took to get here? All the traffic lights, maybe some things you see in your imagination, some cars, some significant things. Okay, this is a clue about how conscious we are. Because if we can remain more conscious all the time in this key of soul, it's natural that we will be more conscious at night when we're sleeping too, when the body is sleeping. Of course, if we have enough energy as well. This will help us to save energy, spiritual energy. We become more energetic. Actually, you need to be quite energetic to be aware, to be active, to have your consciousness very active during the day and also during the night too. So we say in the teachings, our ego, our mind, our personality has to be very passive, not very active. But our consciousness needs to be very active, extremely active. Right? Did you notice the donuts, the books here? Completely aware. It's like your awareness is usually here. Expand it and see all around you. Be more aware. Yeah. Live in physical reality. So it's not that we are condemning the physical world, but we have to go through it. There's a reason why we're here, and it's to help us to understand the internal world. So, question here at the end. Are you here to just change your life and improve yourself? That's okay, right? Many courses about that. Just to change your life, improve yourself. But anyone can do that. You can be a good person. You could be a very virtuous person, but you can still be asleep. You can still not be self-aware. So, we're here to awaken consciousness. Of course, if we awaken consciousness, we become a good person too. But the thing is, you can be good mechanically, good unconsciously. And we have this here. So the first mantra I gave you for remembering dreams, Raum Gaum, first thing in the morning. However, we also want to understand the meaning of that. Right? At first, it's normal that maybe we buy dream dictionary books to try to understand the meaning. Maybe we ask teachers. So, of course, I get the question a lot. What does this mean? What does that mean? But the best thing is to work with our own intuition, our conscience, which exists more in our heart. It's our heart that is more of a thinking organ. Even scientists have proven that there are neurons in the heart. It thinks, and it can really tell us the truth of things. As long as the neurons here aren't thinking so much. Passive. This one, active. And that can help us to understand the meaning. And there's a mantra for that. Helps us to connect to our intuition. Onro. So this mantra is taught like this. Onro. You can do it externally or mentally. If you can't roll your R's, then you can just do onro. I think usually Filipinos being like kind of a Hispanic language, you can all roll your R's, no? Yeah? Okay. Right.
Even the very desired tone.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah. In the West, when I teach it, maybe 50% can do it because it's not in the English way of speaking. Yeah. In order for this intuition to be very active, Master Samael teaches that The imagination, the inspiration, and the intuition should be combined together, active. So the imagination relates to the perception of images. So when you wake up in the morning and you see the images, you have imagination already. If you're able to visualize an apple, your imagination is active. Some people, they can't actively visualize something. It shows that they need more meditation, they need to generate themselves a bit more. Inspiration relates to, it's kind of intuitive, but inspiration relates to receiving the meanings from images. But inspiration can also, it can be also intellectual, that it's like when you look at a piece of art and then, you know, when people go to art galleries and they say, this means that, or that means this. They're getting inspired, right? When maybe if you find this talk inspiring, you get your own flashes of understanding of certain things, yeah? So inspiration, and then there is intuition, which is the direct perception of the truth of it, without your own ego, and without reasoning. It doesn't take thinking. It's very quick. When you suddenly wake up and you just know something from a dream, it's quick. You don't think about it. Yeah. There's a story of a mother who had a dream of her daughter, and she went to a bar, and in the bar, everyone was dead and there was blood everywhere. She quickly rang her daughter and said, "Where are you?" Her daughter said, "I'm in a bar. Get out there right now." And she said, no, it's okay. We're all chilling. We're having a party. And she get out there right now. You know, very strict as a mother. Later on, someone had shot all the people in the bar and everyone died. So that's a good example of just intuitive knowledge. You don't think about it. It's just, you know it immediately. If there's doubt, confusion, thinking about it, well, that's more something you need to meditate on, something relating to personal clues for you, but you know it's not a direct, it's not your God talking to you immediately. But when we do have those certain dreams, it can be like that. I mean, that's a very dramatic example that I gave, but yeah, it can be like that.
How do you wake up in a dream? How do you wake up in the internal world?
Yeah, good question actually. Well, in dreams, of course, as we've said here already, Key of Soul, best way, practice this. Keep your awareness awake all the time, right? And then you'll be awake at night. Not always possible, of course. We drain a lot of energy. So you can also start with, first, you can do reality checks. So instead of all day, of course you should do, this is the recommended, this is the superior teaching, but let's say 5 or 6 times a day, you do a reality check. So the one taught by Master Samael is 6 times a day, ask yourself, am I in a dream? Look around, be curious, and ask yourself, see if anything weird is going on. Because when we're in the dream, so much weird stuff is happening. We're talking to people and animals and aliens, and we don't even question it's a dream, right? So look around, is this a dream? Okay. And still, you have to be still question. Don't just assume quickly. Whatever. Yeah. It's not a dream. No, be really curious and keep questioning. And to confirm if it's a dream, try to fly. Right? Do a jump with the intention of flying. If you're in a dream, you will fly. You're going to get up and you're flying. Oh, I'm in a dream. You're awake. You're awake within the dream. The one I like the most, because we can't really just jump around everywhere, I like to hold my nose. I close my nose. If I can breathe through my nose while it's closed, I can't right now because I'm awake in my physical body. If I can do it while it's closed, I really can breathe, I know I'm dreaming. It's called a reality check. Any method which tests physical limitation. So for example, I could throw this and make it float. Is it when a dream? I could put my finger through this board. I know it's a dream. So another common one is just choose one and stick to it. Try to put your finger through the hand. If you see it go through, it's a dream. Don't just go like this and assume, because you can be in the dream and do this and say, I'm not dreaming. That means you're doing it mechanically. You're doing it unconsciously. And you're doing it every day like this. I'm not dreaming. You're going to do that in the dream too. Really consider and look around and question if you're dreaming, and do it seriously. Do it in a serious way. Another one is pulling your finger and make it go long. And it will really go long in the dream. Yeah, those are the main ones.
Might be on drugs too.
Yeah, it's a funny feeling. Yeah. Now, the point that you said about ego, it's scary. Well, to balance that is this feeling or faith to be with one's essence, to be with your divinity, to be with, it's also called the higher self, your true self, right? We all kind of sense this fear, inherent fear of the darkness of ourself that we have to face, right? But as the quote says by Joseph Campbell, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek, right? But we have to understand that when we feel that fear, we need faith, right? We might be lacking a bit of faith in God, divinity, in my being, my purpose in life. So when you are feeling very with faith, happy, you don't feel any negativity, you could try an astral projection. When you feel no fear, you'll feel good. For that, there is the mantra Fa Ra On. When you go to bed and you're lying in bed and sleeping, you can do it mentally while you're going to sleep, like you're drunk. Very, just enjoying your sleep. Far and you do it mentally while you're relaxed and going to sleep and absorbing in the sound. Now this also relates to the Egyptian word pharaoh. You see Pharaon, pharaoh, relates to your pharaoh inside you, your being inside you. And it goes Fa Ra On. And you just continue, you just repeat. It doesn't matter if you forget doing it exactly or you forget the order, just go to sleep with it. And you'll eventually wake up in the astral. At some point, I'm outside my body, just like that. If it's possible for you, the teaching of this is also to be in the position where your legs resemble the pyramids of Egypt, of Giza. While you're doing this, you also visualize the Great Pyramids. So it's like this. You sleep, you can put your hand on here, and you put your legs up. Fa, Ra, On. If you can sleep like that, but it doesn't matter if you can't, okay? And visualizing the 3 pyramids. If you don't want to do that one, there's also another one. It doesn't involve the body position. La, Ra, S. So it's La, Ra, S. Just like that. Going to sleep. You should be sufficiently tired before sleep, not just like lying in bed, waiting for something to happen. You should be really relaxed and maybe go for a walk before bed or something to relax you. And it's also good, of course, to have some kind of, maybe just a little humble, sincere intention behind it, something you want to discover. Maybe you have a connection with a certain angel, a master. You want to meet the master Samael, or you want to meet your divine mother. Anything. I want to see God, something positive and something that would help you. That's better. Or I want to see a past life. Yeah. It's there. If we misplace something And we just had it a moment ago and then we don't know where it is. We were dreaming. We were unconscious. Sometimes we're so unconscious that we have a phone in our hand and so where's our phone? Where's my phone? Phone or keys. Actually, this happened to me. I was on Maxim and I had the helmet on and I walk away from Koya and he's like, "What? you still have the helmet on." I'm like, oh. Yeah. Be comfortable wherever you can be. Maybe you can use the cushions from behind if you want to. Yeah, you want a cushion? Okay. Because the first part of meditation is very important, which is relaxation, total relaxation. So first we'll do relaxation. At the beginning of meditation, I do the bell 3 times. At the end, I'll do 3 times. Between the intervals, I'll say what is the next part. So first is relaxation. The next is pranayama. So it's more relaxation, but it's transmuting the energy to help us to get back in touch with our life force, our vital energy. And for that, you can do a very simple exercise, which is you inhale through your nose as slowly as possible, but not straining yourself. And you can do that for 10 seconds. Some people can do it for 20 seconds. Some people can do it for 30 seconds comfortably. I think on average, people can do it for 10 to 15. You don't need to count. Just inhale, and then when your lungs are full, retain. And then do it for the same amount of time. So if you're inhaling for 15 seconds, hold for about 15 seconds, and then exhale out for 15 seconds. Repeat. So first is relaxation, then we have pranayama, the breathing exercise, and then we go into meditation. For that, I will guide you into a little meditation on the impressions, on the dream of our own life, and helping to let go of the dream so that we can escape it and have more energy for ourselves. And then we'll have a mantra. We'll just do the mantra Om together, out loud. Okay? Relates to this, kind of practicing this. Om, Om. And then when I do the bell, we just have some silent meditation, usually for maybe 5 minutes, something like that. Okay? So. Closing our eyes, getting comfortable, being relaxed so that we feel we don't have to move our body around so much. Just taking some deep breaths, relaxing. And putting our awareness, concentrate on our feet. And as we concentrate on our feet, we relax the feet. Relax the muscles completely. Let go of any tension that we feel. We just do it naturally. Feeling the energy of our feet. Then we let the awareness go up into our legs, our knees. If you like, you can also visualize a white light going up your feet and your legs, relaxing them completely. letting the awareness and the light go upwards to the thighs, to the base of the spine, lower back. Relaxing all the legs and the lower back. Relaxing the stomach, all our organs. Relaxing our chest, our heart. Relaxing the shoulders. Lots of tension in the shoulders, usually. Relaxing the arms and the hands. Relaxing the neck, the jaw. There's a lot of tension in the jaw. Relaxing the head. Relaxing the eyes. As we said before, a lot of energy comes out the eyes. Relaxing the muscles behind the eyes. And relaxing the whole body. Finding our stillness, our center. Relaxing the mind, the thoughts, the emotions. And we continue to relax while we do pranayama. Inhaling, retaining, and exhaling. And while you're looking, observing inside yourself, I want you to use your imagination to reflect on your entire life. From the moment you were born to this moment in the present moment, here and now. And just trust your imagination to see the whole scene, all the memories and scenes of your life in one image. Don't struggle or try to think, but just let the images come to your mind. And while you see that, also see and sense the dreams of your life for the future. All the fascinations, ambitions, worries, fear, doubt, overthinking. All the things that stop us from feeling peace and calm and stillness and serenity. Just see all of those things and understand that you don't have to identify with that. And then simply, one by one, just see them all disappear. They just fall away or dissolve. And all that's left is space. Inner space. Your pure awareness. Just like a baby. Innocent and free. And in this spirit, let's fill this space with the sacred word, the sacred mantra, the sound, Om, which is centered from the heart. So you can feel the vibration of this mantra from your whole body, but also particularly the heart center. So together. Om.